Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to work on a model kit, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the link on the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, you can go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. It's a Monday, and it's time to not finish, but do a lot of good work on a model kit. Working on the GM3. This is a 2011 model kit that we were working on here. I don't believe the plastic is from 2011. I believe the plastic is from later than that, but the design is very 2011. So we will continue to work on this kit. We're going to work on finish the arms, start the feet up into the legs. That'll be most of tonight's stream, I imagine. And then it's also Manga Monday, and I've got two manga that I want to talk to you about. And I believe, let me check my notes. Yes, only one of them is an isekai. So that's fun. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Happy to have you here on the stream. I hope you're doing well. Hey, it's a Monday, as I said. It's going to be fun. We're gonna have a good time. I will say at the top of the stream that I am already sweating. We have unfortunately hit the period of the year where it is very hot in this room, but it is not hot in the rest of the house. So I had my window open, no problem. It'll cool off eventually. The sun has been down now for a bit, but it's warm in here because I have all these lights on. I have all these lights on so that we can see what I can see what I'm doing properly and all that other stuff. And it just means that right now I am sweating. And I will continue to sweat for the next 2 hours, and it'll be okay. And then I'll open the door to this room and walk out of here in 2 hours, and it'll be better than it is right now. So my apologies if you see me profusely sweating in the stream. It's just the current reality that I live with. Let's go to the overhead camera. Boom. Overhead camera. As you can see, we have completed the head, the backpack, the chest of our GM3. We did one whole arm, as you can see here, but it needs to be panel lined, which we will do. And then we got the shoulder, and then there's one other part here. Yes, and part of the arm here that goes there. And then I got some pieces that I snipped out that I didn't need, that I thought I needed, that I will use when necessary. Lord Crashington is here. Welcome, Lord Crashington. Oh, I should also say, before we really get into it, currently at 22 subscribers. The goal is to hit 30. I shut up about the number of subscribers I have when I hit 30. If you would like to become a subscriber, you could do that. You could jump in on the thing and get in there. You could gift a sub. You could just hang out. You've got options. That would be nice. Consider it. You don't have to. Normally I would use a brown for a red, but this is a this red isn't like a deep red. It's almost like a brownish red anyway. So I will just use black on this particular red, and I think that looks just fine. One thing, I have not purchased it yet, so do not think that this is like an immediate thing, but I am thinking about getting trying out a different kind of marker. I would like to try that. I'm going to look up the actual name of it because I have forgotten what the ding dang thing's name is here. Let me go to my shopping list. Oh, I didn't save it. Did I put it in? Oh, I put it on the wish list in case someone wants to buy it for me. That's right. I want to try the Pour type Gundam marker. The Pour, P-O-U-R, not poor. The Pour. I would like to try pouring. I want to see what's up. If I understand correctly, instead of like doing this, you would just like tap it, and then ink would come out of the tip and kind of fill in the panel space, and you can then clean up the excess. And I'm interested in that. I'm interested in finding out how that works, and how you use that. I am interested in checking it out, so I would like to experiment with that. So it's on my wish list, and eventually I'll just probably get it anyway. But yeah, again, I don't have it yet, but that is the thing that I would like to see I'd like to see how that operates. I want to say pore types can damage certain types of Baer plastics as Lashbrook. Oh, I didn't know that. I'll have to do my research. I'll have to do some research. It may be indeed that a pore type marker is best for plastic that has already been painted or airbrushed or something. For details after that might be the case. But Lashbrook, that gives me the information necessary to say that I don't have enough information and that I should investigate before I start using it on plastic. But I'm still interested in checking it out, even if it's not meant for everyday use. I still have an interest in figuring out what's going on there. All right, let's clean this up here. I'm not ready yet. Soon I will probably replace these tips. I do have a bag of tips here to replace this. I am enjoying this tool. Dirty is here. Hey, Dirty. And Dirty wants me to ring the bell, which is, of course, a physical bell that I own. And so I will now ring the bell. Thank you for using your channel points. And Lord Crashington has hit a 400 stream streak, which is crazy. So Lord Crashington wants me to hit a dance button, and I will do that. Thank you for using your channel points for the dance button. If you're unfamiliar, if you're like, what the fuck's happening, Pat? I have different things that people can, cash in via their points, and one of them is a song that is different every month. And then I dance around a little bit with that song, and here's that song for this month. Oh. Yeah. All right. Thank you for using your channel points, Lord Crashington. Okay. All right. This is looking pretty good here. We are now ready to attach our arm. I can tell you, this hand likes to fall out. I bet when I try to put I have to use a different hand. My hope is that the hand I use to hold a weapon, because we will be building weapons, my hope is that by that time that the hand fits better in there. I can also put a little blue tack in there if I need to, but hopefully I won't need to. All right, but there we go. Booyah. This thing is on its way. It's time to work on the other arm, because we have done this here. So we got that, we got there. All right, great. So let's pull out the pieces that these are the polycaps I already used. That's a weird song. Why did it seem to have a bed spring sound effect in it? I don't know, Dirty. The thing is that a reminder that all of the songs that I play here are songs that I am getting from currently in 2026. All of these songs are songs that I am getting from the YouTube library, which is the sound effects and songs library that you basically any song that is uploaded to that you can use without. There are some that request, I should say, that you cite it in some kind of documentation, like where you got it from, for Creative Commons purposes. But I don't download those. All the ones that I have picked are all songs that are just free to use. Originally, I used music from the Elgato store, free songs from the Elgato store. But what ended up happening was that Elgato is kind of pulling out of making that a thing. They have realized that this is not a thing they want to be dealing with. So now I pull MP3s out of the YouTube library to download. So if you ever hear a song that I'm playing in here and you've heard it previously in some sort of montage on YouTube, that's why. It's because it's probably been used by other people. Oh. Every once in a while I'll hear something and I just go, I wonder, yeah, I do know what that's from. Huh, weird. Okay, yeah, I know what that's from. And it's like Macho Nacho Productions used a song that I heard and another, but Macho Nacho was using a song for a montage of doing like electronic repair, and it's the same song that I've heard as like the theme song to a YouTube show or something. And it's just like, oh yeah, okay. People are recycling. Nothing wrong with it. It is what it is. Boy, it's warm in this room. My apologies. I will try not to complain too much about the heat, but it is warm in here. It's like there's been a lot of change of royalty license last year, as a few podcasts I've listened to had to change their intro themes, like the Voice Dump Truck Just podcast. Yes, people get out of the game, or they like sometimes it's is that the licensor gets out of it because they realized it's not making them enough money. Number didn't go up as high. Sometimes it's other issues, but yeah, that does happen. For me, it was just Elgato decided that this was not a thing they wanted to spend money on, because turns out it's a very small number of people that used it compared to the people that own Stream Decks. I made the mistake. I shouldn't have made a mistake. Stream Decks. The number of people that own Stream Decks is way higher, or the percentage of people who own Stream Decks and used the Elgato marketplace at all was like apparently unbelievably small. And so it didn't make sense for them to bother with it, right? It wasn't like a music licensing thing or anything like that. It was just that people were like, no, we don't want to. The same thing with Twitch soundtrack. Reminds me of the one GameSpot show that had a theme song that was also being used by Spicy Movie Studios web series. Yep, that'll happen. Twitch soundtrack was a thing for a bit. That was Twitch like license or getting like Creative Commons songs and stuff submitted and all that, and doing the work of that to then have it so you would have like access to that music if you wanted to. And they were like, nobody uses this. And I was using it because it was pretty nice to have. That was nice to have because it was just like whatever. And they would do like holiday playlists and stuff, and you didn't have to worry about it. But they decided they didn't want to do that anymore, which is a shame. It was because I feel like it was trying to be a make good, because they were like, hey, we're going to have to enforce DMCA takedowns now instead of just ignoring them. We ignored them for too long, and now we're kind of boned. So we're going to do the quote unquote make good on this and act like we care. So then we'll, of course, say like, oh, hey, if we have this provided for people. The theme song for Back to School was also used in Poker Face Season 2. Yeah. I mean, it's just, you'll hear plenty of those kinds of situations over time. All right, so this goes in the back of that. Goes like that. There we go. Got our arm bending. And then we got to figure out which hand we want to use. It doesn't really matter which hands we'll use, because we will probably replace it for a hand that can hold a weapon. But we'll see. But if we did the closed fist on one side, we'll do the open fist on the other side. So that is going to be MP110. It's over here. We'll do that. And we'll need MP16. There we go. Yeah, we'll have the open palm on this side. Oh boy. In the second hour, we will talk about the 12th and final episode of Noble Reincarnation. Born blessed, so I'll obtain unlimited power. And then we'll also talk about some manga stuff as well. All right, so that's going to go like that. And then we got to do D7 and A22, and then we'll panel line it, and then we'll put the shoulder on, then we'll panel line it, and then we'll add in the missile launcher things at the top there. Tomorrow I will have a new episode of the mailbag, Bill Baer mailbag video. Will be up. I did send that out to my $5 and $10 patrons today, so they could see that shit. But that'll go up for everybody tomorrow. And yeah, I know what I'm building next. The next build on stream when this is done will be the RX-782 White Gundam from G-Quux, which I will from henceforth just referring to as the White Gundam. We will be building the, or, you know, as it's known in some circles, the White Devil. We will be working on that in the future. And I am excited to work on that kit. I am, as you know, I am not the biggest fan of the designs in G-Quux, and I'm certainly not the biggest fan of dealing with the builds themselves. But I do love an RX-782, so I am excited to see how this one feels doing the build of that. I want to see how it comes together and all that. Also, when's the last time I built an RX-782 that didn't have polycaps for the main build? There are polycaps included in that kit, but I believe it is just for the shield. And the answer to that is the last time I built an RX-782 entry grade that doesn't have polycaps because it's an entry grade kit. So that's the last time. But when was the last time I did a high grade? And the answer is I don't know. So there you go. I did have one answer. I just don't have both answers. All right, let's panel line this arm, and then we'll be done with an arm, if you can believe it. All right. I finally have an eye exam scheduled. Folks may remember that last year I did do a little fundraising for some stuff, and you're like, yeah, hey, wait, you never got glasses last year. And yeah, real life got in the way. There was some timing issues with some things, and there were some other things that became more important to do. The money has been sitting, waiting for me to use it, and now I will be able to use that, and I will get new glasses that will probably be available to me in April. But I am at least getting an exam next week. That's all scheduled and ready to go. You know, not having insurance makes some things more difficult than others. Also, I don't want to buy eyeglasses from the place I'm getting my eye exam. And that limits where you can go, because some places are dicks about that. They do not want to give you your prescription. They want you to order glasses and then you'll get your prescription. And I don't want to do that. I want to get Warby Parker frames because they are inexpensive comparatively. And also, I have been wearing Warby Parkers for 15 years now. 10 years, like 12 to 15 years I'm wearing Warby Parkers, and I like them. And I will not be able to get these exact frames that I am wearing now. I will be hopefully be able to get similar frames. And here's something that's cool because of some, not necessarily a windfall, but because of some finagling. I'm going to get 2 pairs of glasses. I'm going to have, these aren't going to become my backups, because that's when I would get my prescription filled more often, like regularly, I would just take my old pair, put them in a aside, and those would become the backup glasses. I've had these for too long. So I'm going to buy glasses, and then I'm going to buy backups, like a second pair. I might even trade them. They'll be the same glass, exactly the same. But yes, big spender indeed, Lord Crashington. But I'm excited for that. I do have the funds to do that. One of the benefits of waiting this long is that I do have the funds to make that happen, which is great. It's great news for me, your friend Pat. All right, we'll put this aside here. It's time to move down. We're going to work on the feet. This kit needs feet. Polycap 3. Of course, we can do this at the same time, which is great. We love that. Polycap 3 and Polycap 3. Then we need C1 and C2. So we'll get those out. But yeah, I'm excited about that. That'll be next week. Then I'll go and get that done. Yeah, I do have the funds that were set aside. And then also, I have been working behind the scenes on a large project for the company that I do data entry for. And it is finally, that project is just about over. And when that is over, the check I get from them will be substantial. It will be enough to help with the second pair of glasses. And it also will be there to help with just like me having money. It means that coming in means that I have the ability to buy more model kits in March. And I have bought more model kits as my Patreon. My Patreon is stable, but it's like lower than it used to be, right? Like right now it's at the point where I can buy with my monthly Patreon money 2 to 3 model kits a month. And it used to be 3 to 4 model kits a month. And at one point it was like 5 model kits a month, which was great. And my Twitch money is not what it used to be. My subscriber numbers are down. That has been offset somewhat by the fact that it used to be $5 and I would get half of the $5. Now it's $6, so I'm getting half of the $6. So I am making slightly more money per person than I used to, but I have less people that subscribe on a monthly basis, which is okay and fine. All of those things, again, are optional. But it means that if I need my backlog to be like up to snuff, that I'm diving into my own money, which is okay because I'm the one that chose to do all of this. And as I say fairly regularly, it's been a hot minute. If I just did data entry and hung out with friends on the internet and talked shop and watched wrestling and didn't have this, I would have had a manic episode, I imagine. So doing all of this, having a consistent schedule of streams, chatting with y'all about stuff, having an outlet for creativity and all of those things is unbelievably beneficial to my mental health. So like, even if this endeavor is costs me money every month to do, which most months it does. Dirty says, I usually wear glasses until my ophthalmologist sends a letter or email stating my current prescription is expired. Yeah, I don't have an ophthalmologist currently. My last prescription is... So, I was lucky enough that I got a new prescription like right before lockdown in 2020. But these glasses are that prescription. They're different glasses from that because it was the same prescription, but that's the same prescription and it is long overdue. And you don't have to tell me in chat, Pat, that's too long between subscriptions. I know. I am well fucking aware that I need new goddamn glasses. But money has been very rough the last several years. Part of that is that I had the dip that like things were building. Like, as you might know, I used to shoot for 50 subscribers a month. I'm currently shooting for 30 subscribers a month. Now, some months I would hit 50 quite a bit. I would hit 50 quite a bit like 3 years ago. Most months I would be hitting 50. Now I'm aiming for 30. And that's just the price of doing business. You know, like I haven't radically changed what I do. I haven't spent money in pursuit of inflating my numbers. I have been consistent and people are very good to me and I'm very grateful for that. I should look in the camera when I say I'm grateful, but I am. Dirty says, I saw my ophthalmologist, but I mean the place, you say, at the mall that does exams and glasses all in one. Nice. Hell yeah, man. Going to the mall to get your glasses that's A tier. Like, yeah, totally. It's one of the reasons why having a mall is great. Lord Crashington says, I got you beat, Pat. So also, Lord Crashington, you should get new glasses then. If it's been even longer since you've had a new prescription, you should probably get an eye exam and see what's up. And if your eye exam and it comes back and goes, your prescription is basically the same as it used to be, then you can go, oh, all right. But you should, unless you don't really need to wear glasses and they're just for reading or whatever, and it's fine, then it's fine. I say that having spent way too much time in between eye exams, but that is just the thing. So yeah, I don't want to get too deep into that, but that is like, the numbers are lower than they used to be. And I think honestly, like, my tech is better than it's ever been. I think once I started doing the background removing, it really changed how my streams look in a positive way. When I switched to this overhead camera from previous cameras, I think the quality's improved greatly. My lighting has gotten worse, and I am working on ways to fix that. I used to have an overhead. Did I kind of go there? Looker says, I always find reasons not to go to the place I need to go and get an exam and new glasses. Yeah. Yeah, Lord Crash, you did. I think, look, I'll say this. When I get new glasses, of course, I will be vain and I will talk about how good they look and how I think they look fantastic and all that. I will be vain about my new glasses. Don't you fucking worry. I will be vain about it. But also, when I get new glasses, I'm going to be talking about how I can see better. I can see, like, the light, this light here reflecting sometimes means that I can't read the manual correctly and I have to move it because sometimes they're just, and that, like, I will not have that with, like, better prescription. I am very excited about that. I'm excited to see better at some point. That will be nice. But I also am looking at ways, I am looking to invest a little bit of money into the streams in order to improve the lighting. My hope is that I can get some, like, an overhead LED that has a natural looking light color that would look good on this, but also would mean that it would kick up less heat. That would be nice. Really what I want is, I want a bar that, like, comes up, like, I would want a bar that would come to the edges of my desk and then just, like, rest over it. But that isn't going to work because my monitors stick out on either side of the table. So it would just be like cutting off the monitors. So I'd have to put it behind the monitors, and then, like, I'm lighting behind the monitors. That doesn't make any sense. But I do want to get a small light bar that can, like, come up from behind my monitor and go over it, which wouldn't wash out this camera. That's the other problem, is any overhead lighting I do has to be lower than my camera. So it would have to be, like, here, just on streams. Like you can't see that, but, like, over like my third monitor, I would want to do that. We'll see if that happens, but that is something that I'm thinking, like, yeah, I'd like to try to figure that out. All right, we need A17, and then we'll get our feet done, and we can panel line our feet. We'll get this going. A couple news story things, not too much on a Monday, a little quiet here, a little quiet. Hey, there's on the 23rd, which was, of course, today, Lego unveiled 2 new Star Wars builds, character busts. These are character busts. Darth Vader and Yoda. Darth Vader is going to cost $50. Yoda is going to cost $40. Holy shit, this Yoda looks shitty. This Yoda looks fucking bad. I'm going to save the image, and then I'm going to put it on the screen, the close-up image that I think looks not great. Maybe you will think differently, but I think that looks shit. I think that looks fucking bad, y'all. I think that is a bad look. And Grogu looked great. I've built that Grogu, and I think that looks fantastic. I think this looks unfinished. It looks like they didn't... It looks like they're not done with it, but that is the image they put out there. And I think it's bad. There was a Chewbacca, I remember, that also looked bad. But I think this one is pretty crazy bad. Like, imagine paying $40 and that's what the head looks like. I think it's bad news. I'm going to get rid of it. I don't want to keep looking at it. Yeah. That thing looks like it just realized it shouldn't exist. Yes. It's bad. Generally, I'm excited about those kind of things. Also, I did build the Grogu bust, and I thought that Baby Yoda was cute and fun, but I'm generally not interested in that kind of style of Lego building. So it's like, oh, that's fine. Sony did a positive thing. It is just a start. There is more to do, but there is a little bit of good Sony news. Sony has wiped out over 1,000 games from the PlayStation Store. And you're like, what the fuck, Pat? Why are you excited they got rid of games? It's because this is the second time they're just getting rid of shovelware bullshit that like breaks their own terms of service, that are just there to be cheap and to hopefully sell some copies because they didn't put much effort into them. And the idea is that it's for like trophy hunters, you know, achievement hunters and stuff. $2.99 stuff. Yeah. Making it very easy to get a platinum. Yeah. And what they end up doing is they put out, these companies put out like stacks, is what they refer to apparently. This is something I didn't know. They called them stacks, and that the stacks are just like, they put them out in a bunch of regions. And it's the same exact game, but each of them has their own copy of different trophies. So you could buy them for different regions if you were insane. So that is like how they quote unquote get you. They get you that way. In January, Thigh Games, THI, had apparently 1,200 games removed from their store. And apparently this was delisted games. Said these are from studios called CGI Lab, and which also has been known as Play Lab, and Nostra Games. One of the fake games that is listed in the Kotaku article is Game and Console Supermarket Business Simulator, which is almost the name of a real video game. It almost sounds like it. Nostra had 700 delistings to the PlayStation Store. And apparently Nostra Games has talked about it. Apparently on its Discord, they were like, unfortunately, PlayStation Store has removed our games, and we're unable to provide an exact reason because it wasn't shared with us either. This was just unexpected for us as well as you, as we had planned to continue releasing games in the coming years, and you've already seen some of them, but unfortunately, this is how things turn out. Thank you for your questions, but unfortunately, we're in the dark as well. So, the thing that they might be making... They might be genuine in their making of bad games, but it also seems like that it's reported again, speculated, that they've been doing stacks. They've been selling bundles where you can get the same game in multiple different languages and like multiple different regions, and it's just the same game. And that probably tripped the flag of probably is the reason why they got delisted. Like maybe they were just pushing their luck. Because they were like, well, our games are genuine. We're just trying to make extra money off of them. That might be what happened. But also Nostra, this company that was like, oh man, we don't know what happened. Apparently one of their games is a TCG card shop simulator knockoff. TCG card shop simulator only available on Steam. But you could play Trading Card Shop Simulator from Nostra, which is a obvious clone lookalike meant to trick you. It is obviously meant to trick you. So, but also a lot of them are still on Xbox and Nintendo. The eShop, this is from my understanding. I've not been on the eShop in quite some time, but apparently the eShop is just full of fucking bullshit, which is a shame. Let's see. Other news story here. Pearl Abyss is in the news. Pearl Abyss, the makers of Crimson Desert, the game that the person you like least in your friend group is really excited about. And that's unfair. I understand that is unfair. But it feels very true that, like, the person on the edge of your friend group that, like, nobody really loves is super excited about it. The person on your Discord that, like, is always consistently borderline where you're like, do we need to talk to this person again? Is very excited about Crimson Desert. Anyway, Pearl Abyss, the makers of that, were like, hey, the game was recruited into the culture war now. Yes, apparently it's woke to think that a slow, boring, overly indulgent in mechanics video game. It's woke to think that cutting edge, unbelievable graphics are the only thing that's important. And if you want like a game that's good, then that is woke. Yes. So apparently, real Pearl Abyss fans have been there since Black Desert. Indeed, dirty. So they use experimental AI generative tools, is what they said, in development. They used Gen AI in asset development early on, and they did not disclose that. And they were like, sorry, we didn't tell you. We forgot. The game has been in development since before Gen AI tools existed, but also don't listen about that. Don't think about that. As I said to a friend of mine chatting about this, when I see in development, my eyes glaze over and my hand immediately starts just doing the jerk off motion, and I just check out because, like, no, that didn't happen. You didn't do it as placeholder and then forget. You fucking didn't. You didn't fucking do that. You might as well just start blaming interns. Oh, an intern used AI and then left it in there. Sorry. Like, no, you kept it in there and then enough people complained and you were like, fuck, all right, I guess we got to fucking apologize for this. Just say that it was early in development. Our bad. It is nice because it has meant that a bunch of people have started to post their like placeholder things. There was like I think it was Destiny 2 had a placeholder image that was like from BioShock, and it said literally the text, "This is from BioShock, replace," was on it. It didn't make it into the game, but it was in development because development doesn't have to be good. And in fact, you don't want development placeholder stuff to be good because you want to evolve and change and grow as you are working on a thing. It's just to get your ideas down so that people can look at it and go like, Oh, that's what. Okay, so you wanted something like this, and then go off and make the thing. They produced some 2D visual props using generative AI tools during the early stage of production. These assets helped us rapidly explore tone and atmosphere. They didn't. It always intended to remove those assets before launch to ensure final product aligned with quality standards and creative direction, and apparently they missed it. Following reports from our community, we have identified that some of these assets were unintentionally included in the final release. That is not in line with our internal standards, and we take full responsibility for it. Again, they worked on this game for years before Gen AI reared its ugly head. They just apparently... So it's either they're malicious or stupid, and they want you to think they're stupid. So I guess they're fucking stupid. I'll take the generous... I'll be generous and say that they're fucking stupid, rather than that they are malicious. They cut corners and then didn't disclose that, and now they're like, yes, yes, Lord Crash, and they do think that we are stupid. Why not both, says John? I don't know for this case. John, first off, hello and welcome. Also, yeah, all right, you know what? A third possibility didn't come to my thoughts there, and that's, I think, fine. That they are stupid as fuck, and also malicious and lying. That's totally fair. We acknowledge that we should have clearly disclosed our use of AI while these tools were primarily used during early production. Again, their early production was years before this. With the expectation the assets would be replaced prior to release, we recognize that this does not excuse the lack of transparency. They're going to do a comprehensive audit now. And then, like, fucking people were out there, dumbasses were out there, people who used to be in video games that aren't anymore were out there being like, you shouldn't apologize. Gamers need to fucking wake up and get with the program. AI is here to stay, or whatever dumb bullshit they were saying. And it's like, nah. It ain't the future. How hard is it to name your models and textures temp, and then search on that before you release if you really need to use the place RLR? Well, the thing is, like I said, we have examples of big studios and small studios that do just that label their things. They literally, in the textures, write text to be like, replace this later. There was a, I'm sorry that I forget the name of the studio, but there's a studio that their placeholder for bosses is their CEO, like a cartoon of their CEO. So you know for fucking sure that's never going to be in a video game. Like, of course it wouldn't be. It would be recognizable that it wouldn't. But if you're like, let's just generate some fucking assets, and then, like, I guess we'll replace them later, but you don't actually care, then it slips through the cracks. Of course. Yeah. So, you know. And then there is a slight shakeup at Xbox. Now, this was reported 2 more big people at Xbox are leaving Xbox. Can you fucking believe it? One of those people is moving to another job within Microsoft. It's not the same. One person is leaving, and that is a deal. Does this mean I could fight Randy Pitchford at the end of Bloodborne 4 if they mess up the release? I don't think it was that. I don't know, but also, no, you wouldn't be able to fight Randy. That would be too fun. That would be meta in a way that Randy wouldn't be on board with. So 2 people left. VP of Partnerships, Business Development, and Marketing, Lori Wright, has left. And then the General Manager of Gaming, Haiyan Zhang, has left as well. Zhang is going to Netflix's gaming team. And there is talk that Wright is still at Microsoft, but not within Xbox. But we don't know for sure because she was just like talking a bunch of stuff. Thank you for, like whatever. Also, Netflix Gaming is still hiring people to work in Netflix Gaming, which seems weird because it seemed like they were thinking of, like, I thought for sure that they were like cutting back on that. They have a lot of open positions. Yeah, I mean, like, look, I know that people will be like, oh, this is because of all of this stuff. And it's like, it might be. Some of this could just be like, yes, you could make the argument if you wanted to. Oh, they see the writing on the wall. They know that shit's fucked, and they're getting out while the getting's good. And that could be true. It could also be that the job at Netflix is better than the job at Microsoft, which happens all the time. Or maybe the general manager of gaming AI at Xbox was like, I don't fucking want to do gaming. I don't want to do this. Or they really liked Phil Spencer and they were sticking around because they liked working for Phil. And now they're not working for Phil anymore. And they don't want to work for a person younger than them that has been at Xbox or at Microsoft for like 2 years. Yeah, sometimes people want new challenges. It certainly could be that they were like, oof, we got to get fucking out of here. It also could be that one or both of them got forced the fuck out. That they're like, we need to like call we have too many VPs. Pick a VP and they're out of here. That could also be. And that, they decided to, move on to other things. It could be. We don't know. We don't know. The timing is interesting, but like, it's not that interesting. We don't know when Wright is leaving. We know Zhang's going to Netflix's gaming team. Also, one of them, like Zhang says, after more than a decade at Microsoft, I've decided to step into the next phase of my career and will take on a new adventure beyond Microsoft. And it's just like, yeah, that 10 years? Yeah, all right. That sounds about right. Oh, sorry. Pardon my yawning. But like, yeah, I don't know. It could be that both of them were like, ooh, they brought in this person from the AI team who's barely been on the team for that long, and they don't have any experience running a gaming division. Oh, okay, we're sunsetting this, and the writing is on the wall. It could be that. It could be that they've read the tea leaves, and the tea leaves are like, you should fucking go. But I don't know. I have no idea. I don't have an answer. More questions than answers. Yeah, sometimes you just want, you want to change. Got a little time before the pause for the cause where I'll talk about ways you can support the channel and all that, things and things. I do want to just say, very briefly here, encourage you to return to the stream tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern for a couple hours of conversation about the winter anime season that is about to come to an end, and the spring anime season, which is starting very soon. We'll have new shows. I want to see when is the first new show this season. Let's see. We'll go to spring 2026, and we'll do by start date. I don't know if you mentioned that, but I think one of my speedrunning friends says that Fire Red Leaf Green glitch exists on the carts. Not just the Switch version. Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. It might be. Yes. So Unjan. Yes. I believe the thing is that glitch does exist, but people weren't hitting the button because the controller layout on the Switch is different than the Game Boy Advance. And so it was a glitch that people have now gone back to find, but it was a glitch that people hadn't discovered until the Switch 2 version, because now your buttons are hitting that. So that's what it was. Okay, so technically the first show of the spring season has already started because Rooster Fighter started early. And then also, but I'm not going to watch Rooster Fighter because that's on Adult Swim and Disney Plus, because that does not seem good. Well, yes, the winter season's not even over yet. Rooster Fighter did not seem interesting. That did not seem good. And then on the first show that is starting in a few days from now is a show that doesn't seem to be picked up by anybody. It is a drama romance from Wit Studios called Shunkan Shuto Daishoha Haro no Mai. And it's apparently like anthropomorphized representations of the seasons, the 4 seasons. Apparently. Oh boy. Classroom of the Elite Season 4 is coming. The 3rd season of... Oh, we don't know who's picked this up yet, but it'll be Crunchyroll. The 3rd... oh, wait, no. Maybe... Wait, who had the 2nd season of this show? Let me look this up. Reborn is a Vending Machine. I believe that was a Crunchyroll show. I want to say it was a Crunchyroll show. Let me check. Yes, that was a Crunchyroll show. Season 3 of Reborn is a Vending Machine, I Now Wander the Dungeon, is coming out next season. And we don't know who's picking it up, but it's probably going to be Crunchyroll. I do know that the ending theme is going to be performed by Fuamoko. That's Fuawa and Mokoko, twin VTubers. They are performing that, which is cool. Good for them. And of course, Mori Calliope, aka Callie, is performing the opening theme to the new Patlabor. And ahead of, I hope the new Patlabor anime and game is good. Yeah, John, I looked at the trailer for the anime, for the video game, I should say. The song announcement and trailer for the anime, I was like, that looks cool. The game looks like a PS3 game. And so I am not holding out the highest hopes for that. I do hope it's good, but when I looked at that, I went, oh, I don't know about that one. Oh, wait, I don't know. But anyway, tomorrow I'm going to talk all about anime. I'm going to talk about the winter season that is almost over. In some cases, there's like 2 episodes left. But by tomorrow, I will have finished up several shows to be able to talk about them as a whole season. And then also, like I said, we'll look ahead to the season that is to come. It is one of my favorite things to do. Is the winter preview, or the winter review, spring preview times. Like doing this, Pat Bear's Anime Club Live is one of, if not my personal favorite, kind of streams to do. I should actually look at this. Do I have my image ready for that? There it is. Okay, yeah, so I got to do winter wrap up. I'm going to make a graphic right now because it's just the old graphic that I just have to change. And then I just need to know the number. What number of Anime Club is this? Okay, so it's going to be 172. Episode 172 will be recorded tomorrow. There. Winter wrap-up, spring preview. Put that there. We'll put this there. Oh. Oh. Sorry, doing a little editing. There. I could have done this on my own time, but I decided I would do it now, and now I have done it. And now I'm going to download this image, which will be the graphic that I will use on stream. And I have done so. It's in there. And then it goes into filled with Baer. There it is. Great. That's all taken care of. Now, tomorrow, I don't have to think about, oh shit, did I make that image for Pat Baer's Anime Club episode 172, the winter wrap-up / spring preview? The answer is I did do that. It's all done. I'm going to drink a little water for just a second before we go to the pause for the cause. Everyone's favorite segment. That's probably not true. I'm sure it's somebody. I'm sure somebody likes the repetition of the pause for the cause, which I do 3 times a week. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's like, oh, that's my favorite. But probably not too many. All right. We'll talk more about that later. Ooh, there's a little bit of a breeze coming in. Lovely. You loved it to hear it. Hello. Hi. I'm Pat Baer. And this is my opportunity to talk to you about ways that you can support the channel and what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk about is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. But if you would like to support what I do here, there are ways that you could do that. First things first, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat if you are a Tier 2 subscriber, of course. Subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link with your Twitch. You get a token. You use that token for anybody. If you want to use that for me, that would be great. I'm currently at 22 subscribers. The goal is to get to 30. And when I hit 30, I shut up about how many subscribers I have, and I don't bother you about that. There have been no gifted subs this month. If you wanted to gift a sub to somebody in the community, you could do that. That is a way to support me and what I do here. You don't gotta, but if you wanna, you could. There are other ways to support me. It's just that you're already here on Twitch, and that is the easiest way because you're already here. You could, of course, go to my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. Over on the Patreon, there is a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers, and you should consider joining me on Patreon. You get stuff early. Nice. Over on my YouTube channel, of course, subscribing is free, and please consider subscribing. While you're over there, you could become a member. For just $2 a month, you would get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So tomorrow, you will get a video before other people do. You'll get the last video of Girls Doing Things month for my Kuma Baer videos. That was the theme, was Girls Doing Things. And you'll be able to see the last video of that before other people saw that. Does that mean anything? I don't know, but it's true. Those are monthly ways to support me financially. If you would just like to throw some money my way as like a one-off and not a reoccurring, you can take a look at my PayPal or my Ko-Fi. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense. So watching my videos helps me out. Through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits and Lego sets and occasionally equipment, like the recently bought a better breakout box for the HDMI HDMI to USB box, so that my overhead camera looks better than it did previously because it's a better adapter. I would like to get an even better one and make that the backup, because right now my backup is the one that wasn't that good. That's not great. I would like to do that at some point. Maybe I will. And I mentioned earlier that I do have a backlog of kits and some new stuff that just came in. We talked about it a little bit. I think like on Thursday we previewed some stuff. I should say that I know what I'm building next. It's the White Gundam I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. Because someone who has chosen to remain anonymous, I know who they are, but they don't want the credit for it, which is fine. They bought something off my Amazon wish list. They picked it up. It came to me in the mail, and that's the thing I'm going to build next. They got a dedicated YouTube video called a mailbag video that'll be out for everybody tomorrow. And yeah, it's the next thing, that's the next thing I want to build. It's the least I could do is have that be the next thing because it was bought, someone spent money for me to build it. I've got this wish list. There are model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. I just today added the Optimus, or maybe when did I add that? I added that yesterday. My apologies. Yesterday, I added the Transformers Optimus Prime from Blockies. It's on sale right now. It's currently $15 instead of $20. It's like a good deal. If you would like to see me build a small scale Optimus Prime model kit, like pick that up and I'll build it. Because again, that's a good price. If you want to see that Optimus be dwarfed by the larger scale Megatron that I have, like pick it up. But I've got model kits and Lego sets, all kinds of different things and things. If you see something there you'd like to see me put together, you can pick it up and then I will build it. That's my, and again, I'll build it sooner than my other stuff, even though my backlog has cool stuff in it that I would like to build. I'll say no. I'm sorry, third-party knockoff kit. Not yet of a mobile suit from a movie based on an anime. Not yet. No. Sorry, I have to build other stuff. I get to build other stuff. My alternative to having a wish list on Amazon is I have a wish list on Throne. Consider getting into the Throne wish list and taking a look there. And then, of course, if you want to support me financially and it needs to take a lot of steps and be really convoluted and wild, go to USA Gundam Store. Buy a gift card there. They will send you a gift card code in your email, and you can send me a whisper here on Twitch, or you can send me a private message on Blue Sky or Mastodon. And that'll be good. And then I'll use that gift card to buy a model kit. You can even be like, hey, I saw this on a USA Gundam Store. You should build that. And maybe I will. Maybe I'll use your money to get that. You could do that if you wanted to. If you want to support me but not spend any money, you can join my Discord. It is full of fine folks. We love to have people join the Discord and hang out there. You're welcome to join us. A couple video links for you to check out. The most recent episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club is me talking about some of my favorite original anime from the 2020s. So the last 6 years, there's been some great originals. And I just kind of gushed about some of them. Maybe you'll find your next favorite anime in that list. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series where every week I recommend an anime with a theme. There's a new theme every month. And this month's theme has been girls doing things. And I talked about the lovely little series, Let's Make a Mug Too. That's TOO, which is a fun little series about pottery and friendship and hanging out. And also, there's a live action component that is really weird and is very 2020 when the show was being filmed, where they go to the high school that's in the anime and they meet with some high school girls that are in the pottery club. They're making stuff, and then the girls have high tea, and the voice actors from the show are just kind of doing promotional work, and it's weird to watch. That's Let's Make a Mug Too. I think it's a cozy slice of life, girls doing things show, and also it's got the weird live action element. It's fun, and if you only want to watch the cozy anime part, it's a breeze to get through the whole show. All right, so I've got some manga that I want to chat with you about. 2 manga that I've been reading lately, and then we'll get into the anime, the 12th and final episode of Noble Reincarnation, Born Blessed, All Attain Ultimate Power. But first, we'll talk about some manga. But even before we talk about manga, I got to get back to the overhead camera. I got to drink more water because I'm parched and I'm sweaty. So I got to do that. And then we need to dramatically transition with some sound effects. And we'll do that right now. I should have said musical accompaniment, not sound effects. That was the wrong terminology, which is annoying. That annoyed me. And I was like, no, I didn't mean to say that. Should have said sound effect. I shouldn't have said sound effect. I should have said sound cue, perhaps. I need C2. There it is. We're building the legs, everybody. We're doing one leg. We did all the parts we can do at the same time. Now we're going to build up one leg, and then we'll build the other. Unfortunately, there are stickers on this leg, and it is the second half of the stream, which is a bad time for me to have stickers that I need to build, but it is, unfortunately, where we're at. There are a ton of stickers that go on this leg eventually. We're not there yet, but we will get there. PC1, okay. We're right, we're good here. Putting a polycap in. Polycap is in. And, oh, I put this on backwards. There's like a whole note that I can't read, but I can understand that this is supposed to go in this way so that it fits flush. That makes more sense. Yeah, it's got to go like that. Okay. And this one's going to go in there. All right. I've been reading some manga, and I wanted to chat with you about said manga. So we'll talk about that right now. This is kind of an overview of the stuff. I'm not going to get too deep into it. One of them is an isekai. It's the first one. Reincarnated is a lazy and villainous noble. I broke the scenario and became the most formidable with extraordinary magic. And the other one is my trash gift as a disowned noble is too strong. So, our guy in the first anime here, Weiss, so he died, and sometimes in these reincarnated into a video game, they go with the twist of, I don't know what happens in this video game. Like, I know this is a video game, but it's not one I played. I'm not sure. Like, and so they're like kind of stumbling around trying to figure out what they need to do next. That is not the case with this manga, I should say. Our main character is like, hell yeah, I know everything about this game. It's like one of my favorite games. Oh wait, I'm awful. I'm a Weiss fansent, and I am destined to have a pitiful death. My death is sad. Like, I am driven to madness, and then I sell out my race and my country, and then I am just being used, and then I am kind of tossed aside, and I don't get my full potential. And so our main character is like, well, I'm built different than that because I have knowledge of what's going to happen, and so I won't give into temptation, and I won't be overwhelmed by my the original version's inferiority complex. He's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. But he's like, okay, because it's a video game, all of the important stuff happens at the school, and I'm not at the academy yet. So he kind of like smartly and realizes, all right, I have till school shows up to get stronger. And that way, if he's like, if the events don't change, then I have to be stronger enough to survive being singled out and attacked by the hero's party. He's like, worst case scenario, there's nothing I can do to prevent it, because he doesn't know if his destiny is set in stone or not. If like he's like, is this a video game where like the story is going to happen no matter what, and they're going to like rewrite reality in order to facilitate that? Like, he doesn't know. So all he can do is train. And so he goes into a lot of training. He learns, he meets, they hire an S-rank adventurer that trains him, and then an S-rank magician, mage to train him, and he goes through grueling training, and it's fucking tough as hell, but he manages to like when he ends up in school, by the time he gets to school, he's like, all right, yeah, I think I'm strong enough. Like, I think I can handle myself. but he doesn't recognize how strong he got because he tries to hide how strong he is at school, and it just doesn't fucking work. Like, he is so overpowered. He is so ahead of everybody else that it's like, oh yeah, no, my guy, you're not fooling anybody here. Your talent is going to shine through. But what it does mean is, he is set himself apart, but he is strong enough to be able to handle the issues that are going to be coming up, which is good for him because, again, there will be plenty of issues. But also, he's kind of he's not, how should I say this? There have been anime where a character gets put in the fantasy world, and it's awesome because all of their oshis, their favorites, are in that world. And so they get to interact with their favorites, and they're fucking stoked about it. That is not this, really, but he is, like, aware of what's supposed to happen in this world. So he does have moments where he's like, yeah, well, you're supposed to be stronger than that, so, like, it won't be a problem. And they're not stronger than that. Like, they're not ready for it. Jam just subscribed with Prime. That is 94 months. Thank you so much, Jam. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Thank Jam. Give Jam a shout out. Thank you for using your channel points. Thank you for subscribing. Not channel points, I should say. Thank you for subscribing and using your Prime token. Oops. I put Amine in there. Whatever. I'll do that again later. Sorry, I had that loaded and ready to go. So yeah, so he's not like necessarily fanboying, but he is very aware of what the plot is supposed to be. So it is interesting to watch him like react to the world that he is in and try to figure out how he can go about like protecting himself. Because he's like, it's how do I describe this? An element of this one that makes it interesting is he's not trying to replace the hero or eradicate the plot. He's just trying to not be a minor character's bump in the road for the heroes they have to defeat on their journey. Because he's like, I don't want to defeat the Demon King, and the Demon King's fucking coming. So, like, the hero needs to train and have, like, a good party. But a lot of the people that would be in the hero's party are hanging out with him, which he did not anticipate, and he is not trying to, like, facilitate. It's just the reality of it. And that is interesting. That is an interesting twist on it, in my opinion. Meanwhile, there also might be another Isekai character in there. At the time that I've left off on this, they have not begun to address this fact, but I am starting to fully believe that there is a character in there who has also been isekai'd. All right, so what I'm doing here now is this piece should be green, and they didn't give us green plastic, so they gave us these stickers to make it green, and that is frustrating, but I'm doing my best. Figuring it out. So basically, I'm just putting these stickers around the edge here so that it feels like this was green all the time, but it's not. It's just 3 stickers that are doing their best. And then also there's going to be some stickers. I'm going to put this aside because there's also going to be some. There's also like, why do the legs have, these legs have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stickers. Each leg has 9 stickers. That's too many stickers. The GM3 should not have this many stickers. I think that's too many. I think it's reasonable for me to say that's too many fucking stickers. All right, let's get the easy ones on here. I don't know which one's the easy ones. All right, there's got to be one that goes here. Then is like the dash. This one. And then that one is this one here. Okay. that goes on like this. All right, the other manga I want to talk to you about is not an isekai, but it does have a overpowered main character. There is a small subset of this kind of overpowered main character show that does it like this, and I do find the concept of this fairly interesting, which is the world is like based on a video game and has like a bunch of tropes, but the main character doesn't know what a video game is, doesn't understand it, and they just have like a cheat that people don't understand because it's like basically treating the world like a video game, but they don't know what that is because they don't have video games. One example I always remember is there are multiple manga where the premise is the main character has like a cheat guide, like they have like now in the back in the day it would have been a book, right? It would have been a guidebook that they would have got at a GameSpot, but now they would have followed a guide on a website or whatever, like like IGN guide to a video game, and they have like that. There's another one where someone has access to a message board, like it's a read-only message board about a video game, but they think they're getting messages from the gods. I think that premise can be interesting. In this case, my trash gift as a disowned noble is too strong. Our main guy gets a fucking smartphone as his gift. And he doesn't know how to use it because he doesn't know what the fuck a smartphone is. And it's the first, nobody has had any records of a smartphone being a thing. So they just assume that he got a dud gift because dud gifts happen now and again. So they just assume, man, this dude got fucking cursed with like some kind of bullshit. Kick him out of the house because he was adopted. He was adopted to be the son because he was talented, and so they brought him into the family. He's not really a noble by birth. He's just a noble by happenstance. And they were like, well, we brought you in because we thought you'd have a good gift because of your lineage, but like, fuck this shit. You're not worth anything. Get the fuck out of here. So he gets disowned. And then, hey, guess what? He figures out really quickly he can do a lot of cool shit with his smartphone. Like appraise things, copy abilities from other people, duplicate items, synthesize equipment, and of course, like, he's got like enemy tracking, and he's got GPS in the thing. Like, he's got the stuff that a smartphone has, that you would expect a smartphone to have, I should say. And then also he's got like a bunch of other extra stuff because it's a magic smartphone, like stuff you wouldn't expect to be there. He also has because it's an anime. So there's extra bullshit. So he becomes very overpowered very quickly. And he's just like, okay, I guess I'm going to become like an adventurer. Like, this, I could help people with this and like do good things and be stronger. So that's what he's setting out to do. He's got fun companions that came in pretty quickly to the anime, manga, I should say. There, my apologies. But there's not like a lot yet where I left off. They're still like figuring out the odds and ends, but there's like a little bit of perhaps a romance thing going there. My thoughts on it are that it is pretty damn fun. If you do not like the overpowered main character trope, I don't think this would work for you. But if you don't mind those, I think this is a fun, like, version of it. I think the idea that it is a cheat item from another world, but he doesn't know all of the things about it. It's not like in another world with my smartphone, which is the guy dies and then God puts him in a fantasy world and says, I'll give you one thing from your your life back home, and he picks his phone, and so he can do all kinds of stuff. But also, he also has abundance of cheat abilities anyway, so he didn't really even need it. Okay, I don't know where how these stickers go. Oh, they go. Okay, this is another one of those things where the stickers are going to go around the border because the border should be a different color than this. So I got to figure that out. So we'll talk about the anime. We'll talk about Noble Reincarnation in a bit. But first, I have to apply a bunch of these goddamn fucking stickers here. So let me do that, and then we'll talk anime. All right, so this is the piece here. It looks like that. There is, and again, these are not, American or English numerical numbers here, so it does make it a little more difficult for me to kind of keep track of this. So we need. I kind of have to like symbol match, and I'm not particularly skilled at symbol matching. Oh yeah, this is hard. I could just not do it. That's also a possibility, and I want to make that clear that I'm going to give this a go. But like, I could just not. I could just say like, oh yeah, that was there, but whatever. They wanted me to put these stickers on here, and then I didn't. Because it's just like the legs. It's just the leg stickers, but I will try. I will do my best to apply these stickers properly where they want me to. Where's my toothpick? There it is. Use the toothpick here to just kind of flatten that out. There we go. There's one part of the sticker is done. And so then I need the one with like the two lines through it, which is this here. Whew. Again, second hour stickers, not my favorite. Okay. And again, if this was a master grade, this would be layers of plastic. We wouldn't be doing this, but it's not. It's a high grade, and this is how they chose to do it, which is like layers of stickers. And it's fine. All right, so then I need this one, and then this one is that. Yeah, okay. All right. This might be the wrong sticker. Damn it. I think this is the wrong sticker. So I got to put this back where it belongs there. I think, yeah, that's a shorter sticker. So I need the longer stickers on the longer side. It's got to be this side. So it's got to be this one here. Yeah. See, I ended up messing it up. But I theoretically can fix my mistake. Yeah, okay. So I did mess that up. But should be okay. All right, and then I gotta do this one here. Come on. There it is. The nice thing is that when I go to do this on the other wait. That's not right. when I go to do this on the other one, it will be easier because I've already done it. And also, there'll be less stickers to apply because I've already applied some of them. There. I got it done. All it took was me accidentally putting on 2 of the wrong stickers. But I did eventually get this done. And I don't even know if it's worth it. It's kind of cool. I wish this was plastic and not stickers, but it's kind of neat. There. That's the leg done. Put the foot on there. We got to panel line it. We're going to panel line that, and I'm going to talk about an anime because I didn't talk about it yet because I was focused on getting this right. And then what I should do now is apply the stickers to this part here just ahead of time because I pulled those stickers off the sheet and I don't want them to sit there for 3 days until Thursday. So I'm gonna do now this piece here, which is on for the other leg, and then I'll panel line. I don't know if that made sense to you, but it makes sense to me. Basically, the idea is that these stickers I pulled off that were wrong, I don't want to just leave them out exposed to the air. I want to get them on the plastic as soon as I can. Hopefully, that made some sense. I don't want them to dry out and become less sticky. Or become too sticky to the paper, and then I can't get them off. Because what I definitely don't want is, I 100% do not want one of these to have stickers on it and the other one not because I fucked up. That would be infuriating. And then we'll talk about the manga or the anime I've been watching. The last episode of Noble Reincarnation, episode 12. Get that loaded into the chat thing there properly so we can look at it. Talk about that. The series is over. Episode 12. So the episode ended with a woman named Olivia coming up to our prince Noah and being like, hey, the crown prince who's about to be removed from the role of being the crown prince, he is planning a coup because he sees the writing on the wall that he is not going to be the next emperor, and he is trying to avoid that by being an asshole and taking over the empire by force, which, to be clear, everyone but him understands he could never fucking do that. The Emperor's forces are too strong. He would fail. Noah is stronger than him. But for the Emperor's son to fail in a coup is the only thing would be worse is if he succeeded in the coup. The very idea that the Emperor can't control his kid would just be like ruinous for the country and its people. And this dude does not fucking get that shit because he thinks he deserves it and all that. He's also the guy that exposed Leviathan to his youngest brother, our main character Noah, just to see what would happen because he's just like a fucking asshole. So now shit has really hit the fan, and it's going to be many people's problems. But something must be done. Olivia has worked for Albert against her will, and her master was killed by Albert, and which she only found out after she started working for him. So basically, the master was killed so that she would end up being indebted to him as he took care of her after the fact, because he's fucking scum. And she swears no loyalty to Noah in order to get revenge on Albert. Noah goes to where Albert is putting together his force, his army. He shows up and he tells Albert, he's like, hey, you've been disinherited. You will not be executed, but you will lose your inheritance, and that is it. And that is fucking happening, my guy. You know, big bro, shit's over for you. Albert is just like, no, I'm the rightful heir. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take it by force if they won't give it to me, which is insane, but oh, sure. And so he decides that Noah is a traitor, which is, again, stupid, but whatever. He's an egomaniac. And so Noah summons a being using his various powers, and he tells the thing, don't kill anyone. You just subdue everybody. And he's like, I am not going to kill you, Albert. Here. And this is, again, he has every right to kill his big brother for being a traitor. But instead, he's like, no. You thought about doing this, you reconsidered, and you took your own life. He's like, otherwise, everyone that works for you and your family, like any offspring you have, they die. If you don't kill yourself, they're all going to die too. And of course, Albert doesn't believe him and doesn't want to do it. And so he's like, your men won't be killed as traitors. And he's just like, hey, kill that little kid, which I understand, but Albert should recognize that Noah is stronger than his soldiers. But guess what? His soldiers are like, you crazy asshole. And they have justification. They're like, when you broke the seal on that sword, 100 of your people died, including my brother. And one guy's like, my father died because of that. Like, and now you're going to have all of us die so you could just be murdered. No. And so they hold him down, and then Olivia shoves the poison into his mouth, and the closest thing we've had to an antagonist in the show dies. The dude is just gone. And he had a change of heart, and he committed suicide, which is the way to spare all his people from also being executed. Albert's men swear loyalty to Noah, so he gains a bunch of soldiers into his service. And he does come up with a plan so that chaos won't break out when all of this comes to light. And he's like, all right, the next in line becomes the emperor. We'll just say that the succession is that, and it'll be okay. The emperor decides, yeah, we're going to give Albert a burial. We're going to cover up what actually happened. We're going to go with Noah's story. And he's impressed with how Noah handled it. And then we are finally introduced to, briefly, Audrey. Audrey is the granddaughter of the former emperor's brother. And she is the one that has been hinted at being eventually betrothed to Noah. And then at the end of the episode we jump cut 3 years into the future. And everyone's like, we get to check in with some of the characters. Everybody's working hard and they're doing their thing. And then we see now an older Noah and Audrey, I should say. And they're getting to set out on an adventure. Now, I can tell you that the manga jumps ahead. That what happens, this little ending thing here, is there's a even bigger time jump from that. And there's a side manga that is their adventures, like learning about the country, and basically it's their honeymoon. But the manga jumps ahead more years. That all happened, and we are introduced to new characters and new plots. As basically Noah is the next in line to be emperor. Like, we all knew he was, but now he's aware that is what the emperor is setting up. The emperor takes a vacation, and Noah becomes like emperor in charge for a little while. There's issues with some of his other brothers. It's a whole thing. There's much more to the story. I don't know if we'll ever see that, because I don't know how popular this anime was, and if it was popular enough to get another season. I would say Noble Reincarnation is a fun enough watch. It has its moments. I think it is a pretty good show. I know I've said this before. You could do worse than Noble Reincarnation if you like an isekai with an overpowered main character. You got that in spades with this one. And he's got cool powers. And I would say the biggest downside of this one is there are minor characters that are really fun that don't get to do a lot in the anime or even the manga. That there are supporting characters that I wish this series cared more about. Because I think it would be neat. Like, he doesn't really have... Like, he's got people that work for him, but they keep adding more and more people as his power grows. So does his associates. But it's not enough. I think there are, like, more fun stories that could be told that they don't really get into because they have to keep the plot going, which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, certainly not for everyone. I think it's pretty good. But again, I would not say it is that you need to rush out. If you didn't see it, you do not have to get caught up on it. I think you'll be okay. Next Monday, I will talk about a couple shows that I didn't cover weekly, including the second half of Genosha, or the second core of Genosha. We'll chat about that. We'll chat about a bunch of things over the next couple weeks as the spring season starts. Although I will say this, there's kind of an overlap here where there's a few shows that started later in the winter. Like we still have 2 more episodes of Freerun to talk about. I think Easygoing Territory Defense has. Let me just look. Okay, that's ending this weekend. And I think the 2 BL shows are wrapping up this week, I believe. Yes, I believe they're both wrapping up tomorrow, so I'll be able to finish those off. I think they're both episode 12. They're only 12 episode shows. So yeah. So really it's just there's 2 more episodes of Freerun. So there'll be a little bit of that before the new season really starts. But I will wrap up by, finishing some shows and being able to talk about those shows that I have finished, because it's fun for me to do that. I do have more stickers to apply, unfortunately. I did apply the more difficult ones, but I still have the ones that aren't as difficult to apply. So we'll get that going here. Now is the part of the stream where I would like to hear from you, friends. You playing any video games? You watching any movies or TV shows? You got anything going on you want to chat with me about? Now is the time to let me know what you're into. If there's any anime that I'm not watching that you're watching and you're like, Pat, the show with the girl who does the laundry is pretty fucking good, or turns out that show sucks. I don't know. I never end up watching it. I might end up watching it, but I never did. Or if you're like, my favorite show of the season is this thing and you should check it out. Like, yeah, let me know. Let me know what's up. I love hearing from you about those things. Or if you're just like reading a book that you think fucking rules and you want to tell me about that, I'll hear about that. I got time to hear you. For me, I am trying to, there's a deck that I want to build in Hearthstone that I am trying to figure out what I need. I have to craft a couple legendaries for it to kind of finish it off. But I want a standard deck in Hearthstone, so I'm gonna get that done before next Tuesday. Because right now I only have one. I have one wild deck that involves new cards that I really like, and I'll show off a week from tomorrow. So I will do that and have that available for people to see. But I do want to have like at least one standard deck, and then I do have a new wild deck that is basically it was my standard deck that now is wild. It can't be standard anymore. So I have changed the deck and kind of maybe optimized it a bit more for what I'm trying to do with it. And so I do have, again, I have two decks that I can show off, but I want to have that third. I want to have that one deck I can play in standard that I think would be pretty good. But I gotta get together. We'll see. We'll see how I do with that deck before next Tuesday. And other than that, I don't know. I played a little bit of Fallout 4 today and just started doing. I realized that this version of Fallout 4, this playthrough of it, I hadn't unlocked the Warwick homestead, so I went there to go help them out and got them on board. Because I realized it was like one of the only easy to get settlements that I didn't have. Because I hadn't been sent there. So I was like, I'll go pick up Warwick settlers. And help out there. But yeah. I don't know. I'm just kind of fucking around in this playthrough now that I've beaten the game. Just sticking around in there. It's just a comfort game to go and goof off in. Y'all have been saying some stuff, so I'm going to read chat here and talk to you about what you've been saying in the chat. Moonshine says, nothing specific, but I've decided that watching 6 shows in a season was a bit too much for me. I believe that'll be anime. Also, The Girl Who Did Laundry was a decent show. Okay. Yeah, I would say that 6 might be a lot. Like, I watch a lot of them. You know, I'm covering 5 weekly here, and then there are like 3 or 4 that I'm watching beyond that, and that's a lot. But if I wasn't talking about anime every week on stream, I might not watch all of those anime. I'll say that. That's partially because I converse about them. But I do watch a lot of anime. So, you know, it does stand to reason that I would talk about the shows that I watch, which are, again, pretty numerous. Lord Crash says, you should check out this show about pirates with wild powers. Yes, I know. I know you're joking around, Lord Crash, but I have not watched season 2 of the live action One Piece. I will see that. I'm going to be getting Netflix soon for a month because my mom has something she wants to watch on Netflix, so I'm going to get Netflix for a month. And then when I get Netflix for that month, that will include me watching that One Piece show. I know it's there, and I know it's not going anywhere, so I haven't gone out of my way to watch it, but I will. Lysander says The Martian fucking rules. Hell yeah, Glad you enjoyed. John Jelisica says, I've been reading a retranslation of the Divine Comedy. It's the first book I've made the effort to sit down and read since the plague began. Well, hell yeah, John. I love that for you. I hope you're having a great time. The Divine Comedy is phenomenal. And I hope you're having a kick-ass time with the read. And I'm glad you're out there doing a little reading, getting working those muscles. That's awesome. I know sometimes it is a lot to like to have the desire to do some reading. Can be tough. It can be tough to get that desire, or especially something long form, you know. I make do a lot with the fact that I just read a lot of manga, but it's, you know, short chapters back to back. So it's not the same kind of dedication. All right. Got the leg here. We got 2 more pieces to put on the leg, and then we can panel line this leg for and probably finish off the stream after I'm done panel lining this leg. I feel like that'll probably be taking us to the end. But I do need to apply make the thigh here. Speaking of, says Lashbrook, I watched One Piece last night, ended up burning through the entire Kuma flashback before bed, which is probably a mistake. Yeah, those episodes aren't going anywhere, Lashbrook. Been playing a lot of Marathon, hell yeah. We got to the Marathon this weekend, and I only went 3 times and lost each one. That happens. Those kinds of games. Laura Crash says, apparently Mary Kish is stuck in New Orleans with the TSA mess delaying her ability to get home in time to stream tonight. That is a shame. But I imagine that larger airports are going to be more of a problem than smaller airports, and New Orleans is a decently sized airport. But with TSA, people spread very thin. And the ones that are working without a contract. There are going to be huge hassles. So yeah, you couldn't pay me enough to fly anywhere right now, says Lysandus. Yes, believe me. I would look into any other method. If I had to get somewhere, I would look at what does Amtrak go there? It's like, do I know someone that is looking to take a road trip? Like, how do I have to go? Like, all of those things would be in my mind. And the lowest on the list would be like, well, I guess I'll just get to the airport like 8 hours early and see what's up. But yeah, that's the lowest priority in my life. But good luck, John. I hope your flight on Wednesday is not a fucking nightmare. I hope things work out for you. Good luck to you. You can't road trip to Tokyo. No, I imagine you can't. But yeah, good luck to you. Did I miss something here? John says it's achieving a stillness of the mind that's the problem. Yes. And reading something like that, because like sitting down to read, making this dedication, I am going to sit in this chair or this stool or lay down and I am going to read this thing, and I am not going to get up and sit on my computer and have a video on one monitor and have Discord open on another, and then also on my phone I've got Instagram open because I want to check my messages and see if anyone's DM'd me. All of that is very difficult. For a lot of people, that is all difficult to get in the sense of like, I'm just going to sit here and fucking read a book for a while. I'm going to get like 6 chapters of this book in and just see what's up because I want to, and I'm going to. Like, that's tough. That is a difficult thing. That is not an easy thing. The Onion's joke about the dad being proud to get the family to the airport 14 hours early has become reality. Yeah. I mean, I'm always a early, like, I want to get through security. I want to find my gate. I want to sit in a chair for a second. Then I want to get up and I want to go look at every fucking food option. I want to have my pick of food options. Then I want to pick the food that I actually want to eat. And I want to sit. I want to sit in a area where there is a gate that is not being used, and then I can take my mask off and eat and sit there and be isolated and have my meal and have charge my iPad or my laptop or whatever if I didn't finish charging it, maybe rip some stuff with a YouTube downloader and pull something from that, use the Wi-Fi and do all of that. And then, before my flight, mask on, back to the gate that's my actual gate. I never want to have to run from security to the gate and hope that I have everything I need and get on a plane without having a meal. And, I forgot. between eating my meal and being on my computer or iPad or whatever, or phone or whatever, and getting to the gate before my flight, I've also gone to the bathroom so that I don't have to get up during the flight if I can avoid that. Because I'm a big man and I don't want to get up and move through the plane to go to the bathroom. No, I don't want to run through an airport ever. I'm looking forward to see what shenanigans Giant Bomb and Vinny get up to at PAX East later this week. Yeah! Good luck to all of them. I wonder how many Friday panels will be missing somebody because of the TSA. Because, like, obviously, if you are there because you are an employee of a company, but if you are there because you are primarily a panelist and you were going to, like, land on Friday and then go to your panel, that shit might not work. You might be in trouble. So we'll see. Eating that Shake Shack at gate where no one shows up for 2 hours is a dream, says M. John. It is. It's oh man, that's awesome. I love that. It's so nice to be able to be like, okay, I'm just going to, I'll just get there and I'll hang out in this empty part of the airport and I'll eat whatever I chose, whatever I picked. Yes, it was expensive, but whatever. I don't care. I had to. Can't bring food, perishable stuff on there, so I'll get there and I'll be able to relax and do all that. No checked bag. And they're going to demand that they check my bag at the gate, and fine, because as long as they don't have to put it on, whatever. It's still faster to get that than going to baggage claim. Because when I land, I want to get it out. When I get to an airport, off the plane, I would like to get out of that airport as fast as possible, and I do not want to go all the way to baggage claim to then wait at baggage claim. Ooh, the camera froze. How long had the camera been frozen for? I wonder. How long was this frozen? It's not the screen, it's just the camera. I wonder how... It was some amount of panel lining, because I've been done for about a minute with panel lining. That's awful. This is the second time this has happened. John doesn't know. It's okay. We're almost done here anyway. I just want to man, this is bad. This happened. This is the second time this has happened. And that's not good. Deactivate. Activate. Okay. That's bad. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that is the USB adapter, because it's not the camera. It's deactivating the signal and then reactivating it. So I assume that is the HDMI to USB 3.0 adapter. That's not good. Let me just clue you in on that. That's not good that that's happening. So I need to investigate that. Seems like it froze about 1:54 into the stream. Okay, yeah. So a couple minutes. The last couple minutes it was frozen when I was panel lining. Okay, that's not great. Anyway, this kit's looking awesome. We're going to finish this kit on Thursday. But that is going to do it for tonight's stream. We're going to go on a raid. We are going to go find someone doing cool stuff and go spend a little bit of time with them. So please come along the raid. It's not Merry Monday. As John says, we always end with a raid. So we're going to go find somebody doing cool stuff, go hang out with them for a bit. And then tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, I recommend that you come back here at 9 p.m. Eastern to come hang out with me as I talk about anime. It's Pat Bear's Anime Club Live, the winter wrap-up and spring preview. And that's going to be really fun. Gotta finish these builds before the camera freeze. Yeah. We're going to rate Tom Walker. Tom Walker is currently playing Cooking Simulator, and that'll be a good time. I like Tom Walker. I think Tom Walker's streams are very fun. So we're going to go raid Tom Walker on a Monday. Or for Tom, a Tuesday, because it's Tuesday for Tom. in Australia. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I hope to see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern for so much anime talk where the overhead camera won't be a concern. But I'm going to do some testing, probably on Wednesday, to figure out what's up. If 2 hours in, it's always going to happen now, and I need to get a different... If I need to go back to my old USB adapter and get a new one, I mean, I'll do it. I don't want to, but maybe I will. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.